Morning. And I am actually coming to you all a little later than I normally do in the morning because my 10 o'clock canceled. And I am thankfully able to take my time this morning. And so I want to come on. I want to talk with you a little bit about this idea that we are still very much glamorizing promiscuity. And so if you're in your 40s or 50s and you are familiar, maybe even in your 30s, if you're familiar with the Sex and the City era. So if you remember Sex and the City and, you know, Sarah Jessica Parker and all of her girlfriends, you know, Carrie and Samantha and, you know, all of her girlfriends. If you're familiar with that Sex and the City era. So they have brought Sex and the City back and they are calling it And Just Like That. So that is the new updated version of Sex and the City. So all of the characters came back except for Samantha. And that is the new version of the Sex and the City. So that's what's on HBO Max now. And these characters are now in their 50s. So they're like my age, or 51, 52, 53. They're now in their 50s. Their kids are older. Some of them, their kids are grown. You know, they're married, or in Carrie's case, her husband passed away. She never had any children. And these characters are older. These characters are in their 50s, and they've got a couple of new characters that have come in, a couple of new ladies that came in, again, in their late 40s, early 50s. And I watched an episode of it last night, and again, it is like mind-altering that we're still on this kick of glamorizing promiscuity. Like, we are still doing this in our 50s. And it is beyond sad to me. So it's like, okay, I can't watch this. Like, I remember watching Sex and the City. Now, I was not a faithful watcher. I didn't watch every episode, and every time it came on, I was not a faithful watcher of Sex and the City, because I remember even back then thinking, why are we glamorizing this? Like, why are we glamorizing this lifestyle? Why are we glamorizing, you know, not being married, having no children, having casual sex? Like, why are we glamorizing this? And like I said, what's even sadder is these women are now in their 50s, and this is what they're still doing. Like, this is what they're still doing. They're still doing the casual sex thing. They're still, you know, having one night stands with, now the men are older and got to use penis pumps and got to take ED medication. You know, they're still doing this. I'm just like, this is so not cool. And we have to stop glamorizing promiscuity. And so many people are like, how did we get here? How did we get here? This is how we got here. This is exactly how we got here, is sending these narratives, like promoting these narratives that says, yeah, you know, having one night stands is so fun. It's so cool. I feel so free. I feel so empowered. No, it's not. It really isn't. And it is what we call a luxury belief. And you have to be a critical thinker to understand what that even means, right? There is such a thing as a luxury belief. What does that mean? That means people out here are selling you something and telling you to do something that they're not doing. They're telling you to do something that they're not even doing. So, the real life Carrie, Sarah Jessica Parker, she's married. She has children. And she's been married a long time. I want to say she's been married almost 30 years to, gosh, what is that actor's name? Ferris Bueller. What is his name? She's married to him. And they've been married almost 30 years. But yet, you know, she's on this show and she's promoting this lifestyle that she's not even doing. And you would have to be a critical thinker to understand that, to ask more questions, right? What are these people doing in real life? So Beyonce is married. She has 3 children, but she's promoting all the single ladies and all of that. Okay, but she's married and she has 3 children. And outside of what she does as an entertainer, I bet you her life is pretty humdrum. It's pretty family oriented, pretty humdrum. Like, she's not cooking breakfast in the nude with an apron on. That's probably not happening, right? But yet, I don't know why people cannot quite, grasp that, okay, these people are selling you something that they're not even doing. Like, make it make sense. They're not even doing it because they know better. They know that it's not fun. They know that it's not cool. They know that it's not fulfilling. So, it's like, I don't get it. Like, I'm trying to, thank you, Unc. Thank you. I'm just trying to understand, like, they're selling you one thing, but they're doing another. That's called a luxury belief, right? So it's like when white people support BLM and they're like, yeah, this and that, and they're not doing that behind closed doors. They're not doing none of what they selling you. But you would have to be a critical thinker to understand that. Like, you'd have to ask questions. And because this generation is spoon-fed, like, oh, I saw it on this new Sex and the City, and so it must be okay. Yeah. Let's have one night stands. Let's have free love, free sex, let's do it in our 50s, which is like insane. That is like insanity. So you lived all these years and you learned absolutely nothing. Like, I can't even imagine doing that at my age. I just don't, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. So we have to stop glamorizing this lifestyle, but the media is doing it, still doing it. Hollywood is still doing it. We're still doing it in movies and television shows, the podcasts, and, everybody's doing it in these videos. They're glamorizing promiscuity. And here's what they're not telling you. They're not telling you about the people that are catching diseases. I had an acquaintance, I'm not going to say a friend, I had an acquaintance who told me recently that her daughter wound up getting an STD, and her daughter said, yeah, I don't know what happened. I used protection. Like, we used protection, and she wound up getting an STD that she can't get rid of. So, see, they don't tell you that. They don't tell you that part, do they? That's not sexy. That's not sexy in the city, right? That's not cool to say, hey, if you go home with this man you just met in a bar, he could give you something that could affect the rest of your life. See, that's not sexy, is it? If you go home with this man from the bar who looks all good and, oh my gosh, girl, chocolate thunder and all that he could strangle you to death. Because, that's his kink. His kink is when he's having sex, he likes strangling women. He likes scratching them, punching them, hitting them. He likes it rough. But see, you wouldn't know that because you just met him that night and you're going home with him from the bar. So you wouldn't even know that. This is what they're not telling you. This is why it's so important for you to critically think. You have to critically think. You have to ask more questions. You cannot just accept what Hollywood is putting out there as, yeah, this is cool. Yeah, this is great. You should be doing this. No, you need to critically think and say, okay, but if I go home with a stranger, or if I let a stranger go home with me, what else could happen? What else could happen other than this, mind-blowing sex? And I'm going to be honest with you. Most of the time, the sex is not mind-blowing. The sex is not mind-blowing. The only thing that you're running off of is the adrenaline from novelty. That's what's, amping you up, is the fact that this person's new, that you don't know them, that you don't know what's going to happen, you don't know what they're going to do. That's it. This person can have absolutely zero technical skill in the bedroom, and you're like, oh my God, that was so exciting. Oh my, it's just novelty. It's just the adrenaline of the fact that this person's new. And here's what, many women that I work with have told me, like, yeah, Anita, after 2, 3, 4 times, the sex was average, below average. I was like, yeah, I know, because all you were amped up on was adrenaline. You were amped up on the adrenaline. You were amped up on the high that, oh my God, this is so dangerous. And this guy is totally new. And oh my God, like that's what you were amped up on. And once that high subsides, you're going to find out this guy sucks in bed. You're going to find out how selfish this guy is in bed. You're going to find out that he could care less about your pleasure. That's what you're going to find out. But again, we don't talk about this enough. We don't talk about this stuff enough. Hollywood and television shows and movies, you know, they're selling you a dream that is really a nightmare. And you have to critically think. This is why I teach my kids, critically think, ask more questions. Even if you're asking yourself those questions. I wonder what else could happen if I go home with this stranger. Could this stranger rob me blind? Could this stranger physically hurt me? Could this stranger, you know, fill in the blank? A whole lot of things could happen because guess what? You don't know them. You don't know them. And see, this is the part that you all hate. The part you really hate is when, you know, I say things like, yeah, it's really hard to be empathetic, you know, to people who put themselves in stupid situations. Like people hate when I say that. It is so hard, you know, to try to be compassionate when you're thinking, this wasn't smart. Like, this was not a good idea. And oh my gosh, and y'all are victim shaming. No, we're just saying this wasn't a good idea. Like, this wasn't smart. And the reason why, let me help you understand the reason why that is. So the reason why moms and aunties and grandmas do that, we need this moment of clarity. We need it to sting. We need it to sting real bad. Like, my daughter knows this. She knows that if she goes off and does something dumb and she's going to hear my mouth, she's like, oh, dang, I'm never going to live this down. My mom's going to, you know, say I told you so or something of the kind. I need that moment to sting in your mind. Because in my mind, that's what's going to, that visceral response is going to come up when you think about doing something dumb like that again. Like, here's what you need to know about women. The way women are wired, they tie emotion. They tie emotion to negative events. That's why they really have a hard time letting go. They have a really hard time letting go, moving on, forgiving. Because when that event happens, they tie how they feel to that event. And y'all already know this. Women are feelers. Women are emotional. Okay? Men are always saying this. Okay. Again, so, like, so what? Let's not try to act like, oh, the fact that, you know, women can't be more logical and rational and all of this. Okay, men are great at that. And not all men, because now I find men being more emotional now than women. But okay, men are better than that. Women are better at emotions and feelings and instinct and intuition. So, okay, we both have superpowers, just in different realms. But women tie emotion to a negative event. And so I make it feel bad. Like, I really do. That's the whole point. I want it to feel bad. I want you to tie emotion to this moment so you will never forget. Don't do that anymore. Don't do that anymore. Okay? This isn't good. It isn't smart. You should feel bad. I'm a big believer in healthy shame. I think our society needs to bring that back. I'm a big believer in shame people. People should feel ashamed. Certain things should be kept a secret. You shouldn't be out here acting all crazy and talking about it at the dinner table and talking about it at the dinner party. No, you shouldn't be doing that. There are certain things that you should feel bad about. I really believe that. So this idea that now promiscuity is being normalized in our culture, like, it is just the thing to do. It's just what we do. It's what we do. We sleep with strangers. We share bodily fluids with strangers. And what's crazy is, I kid you not, I did this to this one girl, young girl. I said, yeah, would you, meet a guy at a bar and would you let him spit in your mouth? Like, you just open your mouth and he's going to spit. He's going to spit in your mouth. No. Okay, but you'll tongue kiss him. What's the difference? You'll tongue kiss him. You'll go home and put your mouth on his genitals. You'll let him put his mouth on your genitals. You'll let him put his genitals inside of your genitals. What's the difference? Would you let him spit in your mouth? Right? Would you let him spit in your drink and you drink it? No. Okay, well, I'm confused. Like, you got me, because what's the difference? What's the difference? Would you let him pee in a cup and you drink it? No, that's disgusting, Miss Anita. Okay, what's the difference? What's the difference? Why do I have to put it that way for it to seem gross or nasty? But what is the difference? You are letting this man put his member inside of you, and even if it's covered with a sheath of rubber, okay, even if it's covered, you're letting this man put his member inside of you, and whatever fluid you have is going on him. Like, what's the difference? What's the difference? So maybe you need to have it put that way. Stop letting strangers, people where you don't know where their mouth has been. Oh, let's go here. You met a man in a bar, and he's just doing something for you, and you love the way he's talking and love the way he's looking, and you go to tongue kiss him. Little do you know, earlier that day, he went down on his girlfriend. So he went down on his girlfriend. Now you're kissing him in the mouth in the bar. Okay? Fellas, you see a woman, and you're like, ooh, she look good, and this and that, and la, la, la. And here you go. You kissing her in her mouth. She done had her mouth on her boyfriend's, member. I'm going to try to keep it somewhat clean. And you kissing her in her mouth. Okay? Or you going down on her, and earlier that day, she had sex with her boyfriend, and they did not use a condom. He ejaculated in her. Yeah, that's what you're getting. Like, you now getting whatever she got in her, whatever he got in him, you getting all of that. Because you choose to put your mouth on her. You don't know these people. You don't know who they've been with. You don't know what they got. Like, I cannot stress that enough. But again, that's not sexy. That's not glamorous. Of course the movies isn't going to show you that. Of course the shows are not going to show you that. And let's go a step further. So the man that you went home with from the bar because he looks so good and he's so sexy and he's so fine and he know what to say. Boo-boo, he do that with everybody. Like, that right there should let you know you don't want him. He got dirty D. He give that D to everybody. He give that mouth to everybody. So the fact that he's able to pull you to get you to come home with him, you don't want that dirty D. That dirty D been everywhere. That brother has been, running this game on you and 10 other women and been out here going home with you and 10 other women. So whatever pH problems you got, they got, whatever bacterial vaginosis or whatever yeast infection or whatever, you got it. Because his D been in her and that's in you. His mouth been on her and that's on you. Like, I can't make this up. But for some reason, y'all don't want to, none of that gets taken into account. None of it. You're just like, oh, it's hot. I'm in the moment. He looks good. She looks good. Like, seriously. I really need you to think about these things. Please be a critical thinker. Because you out here, it's like letting people spit in your mouth, spit in your food, spit in your drink, ejaculate in your, I kid y'all, I can't make this up. Okay, that's what you're doing. Okay? We have to stop glamorizing promiscuity. I cannot believe this show is still on this tip. These women are in their 50s. And out here going to a bar and going home with a man. Like, what? And let me tell y'all this. This was something I saw late last year. So people in their 50s and their 60s are for the first time, like, catching STDs. Catching all kind of STDs. The number of people catching all these STDs is very high in their 50s and 60s. Because these people were married. Like, they spent decades married. Maybe their spouse died. Maybe they got a divorce. Now they call themselves getting back out here on the dating market. And all this new stuff you got out here. And they catching all kind of stuff. Out here having unprotected sex. And just catching all kind of stuff. Some of them for the first time. There are people in their 50s catching a sexually transmitted disease for the first time. That's nothing to be proud about. It's nothing to be proud about at all. So we have to stop glamorizing promiscuity. It does not matter the person's age. To me, there's nothing smart about it. It's just not smart. It's not a good choice. And y'all out here screwing like AIDS has been, eradicated. Like there's a cure for AIDS. No, it's not. This little medication that you take, and look, they love selling this. It'll bring your levels down to undetectable. And because you don't know how to critically think, you don't know that undetectable does not mean cured. Undetectable does not mean it's gone. Okay? That just means, okay, the test is not picking it up. You got it. You got it. The test is not picking it up. So come on, we have to stop. We have to be able to critically think. We have to think for ourselves, because if we don't, I mean, it's like we're destined for a life of just hardship. Think for yourself. Ask questions. Ask questions. That's what critical thinking is. Like, let me ask some questions. Like, you know, the woman is walking out of the hotel after picking up this man in a bar. She gonna talk about, look, she gonna tell the other character, yeah, it just is so empowering. Like, we did it all night long. First of all, can't no man in his 50s do it all night long. That's a lie. You lucky if you get it for 20 or 30 minutes once. One time for 20 or 30 minutes. That's a damn lie. We did it all night long. And then the next day, I got up, I walked out of there with my head held high, and I went home to my own bed, and I slept until the afternoon. I just feel so empowered. Y'all, they selling y'all a nightmare. They selling y'all a nightmare. If you believe in this, they selling y'all a nightmare. And then look, the other lady, I took him back, and, he had to use a penis pump and this and that, but, it was okay. I think I'm going to see him again. It was all right. Let me tell you what happens in reality. So in reality, a man who got access to your body on the first night, if he's looking for anything real, he's not going to see you again. He's not interested. He's going to block you. He's going to ghost you. And if the man, maybe wants some more free sex, sure, he will continue to see you again because you have given him access to you. So it's like the open sign is on. So yeah, if he wants to come back in and patronize your store, your open sign is on. That's all that's going to happen. Nothing serious is going to come from it. Nothing serious is going to come from it. If he ever wants to find a wife or settle down, no, nothing serious is going to come from it. But your open sign is on, so he's going to go in. He's going to go in because you're open for business. So yeah, if you like that, if you like getting used sexually, and for all the people out there that you keep selling this narrative. Why do you act like, women aren't getting something? Why do you act like y'all are doing us a favor and y'all are getting something too? We're not getting what you're getting. Like science has already shown us there is what we call an orgasm gap. We're not getting what you're getting. I hate to be the bearer of reality and bad news. Women are not enjoying sex the way men are. The fact that there are all these sexless marriages, that in and of itself is telling you that. If sex was as mind-blowing for us as it is for y'all, we would have it more. But the reality is, for a lot of women, sex is not mind-blowing. It is not something that we crave in the middle of the night or early in the morning. It isn't. It can be. It can be, and I teach women how. I teach women how to have mind-blowing sex. I teach women how to prioritize their pleasure. But we're just keeping it real for this conversation. It's not. It's not. You're not giving us anything. You're getting something. You're getting an orgasm. You're getting an experience. You're getting the feminine essence. That's what y'all are getting. But we are not getting as much as y'all are getting. That's a hill I'm willing to die on because science backs it. And the thousands of women that I've talked to. So even if I'm just thinking about all my clients, all of them will tell you, yeah, it's, And look, I had one client last week. This is a perfect example. She said, if it's between sex and sleep, I'm getting some rest. Right there. I could literally go in my client Rolodex and send out a survey to every woman on the list, and I already know what the results is going to reveal. I already know. So, honestly, a lot of you men, you want to live in denial. You want to think that you're doing way more than what you're doing. Now, that's not a cut. That's just reality. Okay? Now you and your lady can come together and figure out how to make it as pleasurable for her as it is for you. It can be done. And a woman first has to prioritize her pleasure. But that's the truth. That's the truth, y'all. Y'all love to add, well, she got something. She got something just like he got. No, she did not. No, she didn't. Why we have to say this every time? She really didn't. She really didn't. So that's why. The percentage is higher on the side of she really didn't get anything. There's a percentage of women that do. There's a bigger percentage of women that don't. That's what you don't want to hear. So no. Most women have sex to obtain love and cherishing. Most men give love to have sex, which is very exciting and very pleasurable. Okay? He says sex should be about the experience, not the coming. I 100% agree. Like when I'm teaching people about good sex, it's not just about orgasm. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. But I am telling you that for a lot of women, the experience isn't even great. So I'm just being honest. The experience is not that great. A lot of women tell me that men are very selfish in bed. It's all about them. They're not willing to meet a woman's emotional needs or whatever other needs she has, or even physical needs. So that's just reality. Like, I'm a woman and I know thousands of women. I'm just telling you the reality. He says, like, people enjoy cuddling. You don't enjoy simply being close with your partner. Well, that's one of the reasons why women will have sex. Because think about it. When we have sex with a man, whether we have an orgasm or not, or whether it's pleasurable or not, it's like the one time where our man is present and focused on us. And that is what turns women on more than anything. Like, this man is 100% focused on me. He is present. Like, I am kind of the focus of his pleasure. Like, that's what gets us off, right? For a lot of us. And then if you are a sexually in tune woman, you also are going to prioritize your pleasure as well. So it's not just him being solely focused on you, him looking at you, him, I prioritize my pleasure. My motto is I don't get in the bed with a man who ain't my husband. Okay. I don't get in the bed with a man that it ain't going to be pleasurable to me. Like, there's no point in doing this. I let men know from the gate, these are the needs I have sexually. These are the needs I have emotionally within the sex act. And that's what I want to see fulfilled. And then you tell me what your needs are. You tell me what your emotion, and I'm going to fulfill those needs. We're going to fulfill each other's needs. Okay. So I don't do it unless it's pleasurable. Because why? Like, why? Okay. I'm not a human masturbation toy. I don't do it unless it's pleasurable. That's just me. And I teach other women how to do that as well. It should be pleasurable for you, and your love and your care for your man should make you want to be a part of his pleasure and him want to be a part of your pleasure. That's it. Okay. But I'm just giving you science. I'm giving you biology. And for a lot of women, for a lot of reasons, not just orgasms, sex is not as pleasurable. It's not. And especially the act of penetration. We're just like, okay, like, okay. And with some men, it's better than others, but okay, like, and that's a hard pill for y'all to swallow. Okay. He says sex should always be about the other person and not about yourself. I wish that was true, but for a lot of people, it's not, and think about it. The culture we're in now, period, is all about giving to get. It's all about transactional, right? The only reason people date is because they want something. The only reason people are in relationships is because they want something. It's all about getting. It's not about giving. There isn't a mutual reciprocity. It's just all about getting. And so that's the culture that we're in right now, where everybody is saying what they want, what they need, and they're leading with that. They're not considering what the other person wants, what the other person needs. There's very little connection. I talked about that in another live, how it makes me sad that there are 30, 40-year-old people who've never experienced a genuine connection with another person. Just a genuine, like, knowing I should be with this person. I should know this person. This person has come here to teach me something. Like, there's a reason why I know this person. And it is so instinctual. It's so intuitive. Like, people will ask me all the time, like, why him? You know, I had a guy ask me that, what was it, 2 years ago? I was dating somebody and everybody was like, why him? I said, there's a connection there. I can't put it to words. I can't explain it to you. The only people who know about it is me and him. And really, that's all that matters. All that matters is that he and I understand. But there are people in this world who've never had that. They've never had a genuine connection with another person. An inexplainable, just knowing, like, I'm meant to know this person. Like, I'm meant to be with this person. This person was sent here to teach me something. This person was sent here, you know, for a higher reason that I can't even explain. I have had that happen 13 times in my life. And I've had clients in their 30s and 40s. They never had it one time. Not one time. I've had that happen 13 times with someone of the opposite sex. I've had it happen another 8 times with someone of the same sex, like just a woman that, again, I met, and in that first meeting, like, we knew we would be friends. We knew we were put in each other's life for a reason, right? And it was just a knowing. It was like a knowing. It's crazy. He says, we should be asking what the person wants out of sex. What are your needs? Yep, I agree. But people are selfish. He said people are scared to open up. Yeah, this whole entire thing we're in right now is about fear. Everyone is afraid. And yet what's so crazy is people don't want to admit that they're afraid. That's what I find so fascinating. Like, you can see the fear in people's eyes. I can see the fear in people's comments. Like, when I'm looking at y'all's comments, I can feel the fear through your comments. But then if I say, it's okay to be afraid. What? I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. What are you talking about? And I had one guy, I mean, he clean bit my head off. Oh, you think you know everything. You think you know everything. And just because of this, you think you know. I was like, sir, your response is telling me all I need to know. Like, clearly I hit a nerve by saying that. It's okay if you're afraid. It's okay if you're scared right now. Everybody is. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. And you don't know everything about me. And blah, blah, blah. I mean, he just went clean off. I was like, ding, ding, ding. Clearly, I touched a nerve. Yeah, we're all afraid. We are all deathly afraid. Right now, I am not dating. I am not dating. I am practicing my relationship skills on all of my friends, all of my family, my clients, my colleagues, my acquaintances. That's who I am practicing my relationship skills on right now. I'm practicing my communication skills on my children, on my neighbors. Like, that's who I am practicing my relationship skills on. Because it is like a landmine. It's like, it's insane out here. Okay. So yeah, I'm still practicing my relationship skills, but I'm doing it in a non-romantic way because it is like a landmine. You take a step to the left, boom. You take a step to the right, bang. You can get your whole leg blown off out here. So yeah. I am, I'm out of hibernation. Everybody keeps saying, are you out of hibernation? I'm out of hibernation. And here's what that means. That means that I'm out here, I'm outside, I'm on the other side of my door, and whatever happens, happens. I'm open, I'm receptive. Like, that's the energy that I'm in. I'm open and receptive. And I'm going to have situations where I meet people in all different types of ways and all kind of ways, right? But am I actively putting myself in the line of fire? No. Am I, going out to singles events in hopes of meeting somebody? No. Am I on dating apps? Hell no. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just outside. I'm just on the other side of my door. That's it. I'm on the other side of my door. I'm doing what I do. I'm going out. I'm going to Target. I'm going to Walmart. I'm going to Kroger. I'm going to Publix. I'm going to Wegmans. I'm going to the mall, and I'm going to the dog park like 3 or 4 times a week. I'm going to the gym. I'm just outside on the other side of my door. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm on. And whatever happens, happens. Good morning. So no, I may be afraid of some things, but still willing to get out there and try. That's good. I'm glad. Like I said, I applaud anybody that's willing to try. That says a lot about you. The fact that you have the courage to try, that says a lot about you. I have the courage right now to just be outside, right? I'm not going to actively, like I said, put myself in the line of fire, but I do have the courage to be outside. I do have the courage to respond to people's messages or, be open, smile. I have the courage to flirt. That's kind of what I got right now. But to openly try to actively be out here dating, no. Because again, I am practicing my skills in other relationships outside of romantic relationships. That time will come. I believe that time will come. It always has. So think about that. I have lots of dating history. And so that time has always come where somebody, is interested in me and I might be interested in them. That time will come. But until then, I'm just practicing my skills in a non-romantic way. And I encourage other people to do that. It's being beautified as something to be respected. I'm not sure what that means. Tell me what that means. But yeah, we have to stop glamorizing promiscuity. And I may be old. I may be old fashioned. I may be an old fuddy-duddy or whatever. Again, here's what I want you to ask yourself. And this is what I ask a lot of young girls to do. Okay, don't listen to me, right? Don't listen to me. I want you to tell me how you feel. Tell me how you feel. Tell me about the results that you're getting. Tell me about the results that your other friends are getting. Right? That's it. I want you to look around your own life. I want you to look inside of yourself and tell me what's there. That's it. Tell me what's there. And if you are having a rip-roaring time and you've been having a rip-roaring time for years and years and you're feeling good about it, okay, then there you go. But if at any point you don't feel good, you feel used, you feel empty, you feel lonely, you feel depressed, that's your answer. That's your answer right there. But see, you don't want to admit that to me. That's your answer. Yes, I am. I am currently single, but as I just finished explaining, I'm just on the other side of my door. I'm not actively putting myself out there to date or, I don't do anything to elicit dating unless a man walked up on me or unless a man, I don't know, he was given my information through another friend or he asked a friend to hook him up with me. I'm not actively dating. I'm not doing that right now. So, and I've got some other things going on. So that's my focus right now. And it's not that I'm closed down. It's not that I'm closed off. I'm very open. I am just on the other side of my door. And that's what I encourage a lot of women to do. Just be on the other side of your door. Because sometimes women get so hyper-focused. It's like women only know two different things, right? They know to be in the house all the time, only to go to work and only to go do, the absolute necessary things to do. So they know that. But other than that, they're in the house all the time watching television. The second thing is they are out on dating apps or they're out on these singles events or they're out doing all this stuff. And they're feverishly looking for a man. Oh my God, where are men? Where are men, Anita? Where can I find men? Where can I meet men? What? And I'm like, what's in between? What's in between? Because you went from one extreme to another. What's in between those two things? Right? Because you just, go from, being holed up in your house for 6 months to now hitting the street and dressing all scandalous and talking to everybody at the bar and going up to everybody and shooting your shot. What's in between that? And then if it don't work out, they are crestfallen. I get women all the time and they are just crestfallen. Oh, Anita, I was on dating apps for 30 days. It's a nightmare. Oh, I was going out. I was going to singles events. I was going to bars and blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay. What's in between those two things? Why are you trying so hard? Don't try so hard. That's all. Just be out. Smile. Flirt. Give eye contact. I be telling y'all don't be giving eye contact. Give eye contact. Look away. Okay? That's all. All right. But we gotta bring back shame. We do. We gotta bring back shame. There are certain things you should not be doing. And fellas, I'm gonna give y'all this warning and I'm gonna get out of here because I gotta go in here to this appointment. Please be mindful. Be very mindful because women are eating this up. They are eating up this promiscuous lifestyle, this city girl, hot girl summer lifestyle. Man, you don't know where her mouth has been. You don't know what her mouth has been on. Please be very careful. You don't know what's been inside of her. Okay? And you out here, all you see is lips, hips, and fingertips, and, and you just, okay. But again, it's like letting that girl spit in your food, spit in your mouth, spit in your drink, skeet in your drink, pee in your drink, and you just drinking it up. No, you cannot. You can't put yourself in everybody. Because I said, these women, you talk about body counts. Like, I never heard of this. I never heard of this, where women are sleeping with hundreds of men. Hundreds of men. I can't make this up. Hundreds. Not 10. Not 8. Like I said, I'm gonna sound old right now. I'm gonna date myself. But back in my day, okay, if I found out a woman slept with 10 men, I was like, that skank, that hoe. 10. These women are sleeping with hundreds of men. And back in our day, if you had sex with 10 men, we were like, oh, girl, no, not her. Like, no. And look, we wouldn't be friends with her. You talk about healthy shame. There were some women when I was in high school, when I was in college, that we didn't associate with. Okay, there we go. We didn't associate with those young women because we didn't want whatever people was talking about them to rub off on us. So no. So gentlemen, be wise. Be wise. These women today are not the women of my day, because we don't play them games. We don't let everybody in. Okay? We don't let everybody in. You need the code, and the code will change regularly. Like, I tell men, like, nah, you need the code, and the code that I give you today may not be the code tomorrow or whatever. Well, I ain't giving everybody the code, but yeah, just be wise, man. Just be wise. He said they're making a game out of it, the alphabet. Ew, gross. Gross. Yeah, no. So y'all just be careful. All right, I got to get going because I got to call my daughter back now. Have a great day. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you all. And as always, stay open to love.